Earth burns, cities crumble under the relentless assault of an alien armada, their ships blotting out the sky like a swarm of locusts. Humanity's defenses, once thought impenetrable, are shattered. The cries of the desperate echo across the ruins of what was once a thriving civilization. But in the midst of this chaos, as hope flickers like a dying ember, something extraordinary happens. A signal cuts through the static of war, a voice from the void, repeating a single, haunting phrase. The forgotten fleet returns. For the last defenders of Earth, those clinging to survival in the shadow of annihilation, these words are both a lifeline and a mystery. Who sent this signal? What is the forgotten fleet? And why now, when all seems lost? The answers lie buried in the stars, in a story of sacrifice, betrayal, and a promise made centuries ago. This is not just a tale of survival. It is a story of redemption, of a fleet long thought lost, now racing against time to fulfill an oath that could change the fate of humanity forever. Stay with us, because what comes next will redefine what it means to fight, to hope, and to endure. The forgotten fleet is coming, and with it, the chance to turn the tide of war. But will it be enough? Keep watching to find out. As the signal reverberates across Earth's fractured communication networks, a young communications officer, Lieutenant Kara Voss, steps into the spotlight. Stationed in the remnants of a once proud orbital command center, Kara is no stranger to deciphering cryptic messages from the void, but this one is different. The phrase, "the forgotten fleet returns," lingers in her mind, a puzzle begging to be solved. With trembling hands and a heart pounding against the weight of responsibility, Kara begins to unravel the signal's origin. Her analysis reveals something extraordinary: a fleet of ancient human warships, lost centuries ago during the first expansion. These vessels, once the pride of humanity's early ventures into the stars, were thought to have vanished into the abyss of space, their crews and missions long forgotten. Yet here they are, their signal cutting through the chaos of war, their trajectory unmistakable. They are coming, but why now, and what do they intend to do when they arrive? Kara's discovery sends shockwaves through Earth's crumbling command structure. Some see the fleet as saviors, a miraculous answer to humanity's desperate prayers. Others whisper of darker possibilities. What if these ships, adrift for centuries, are no longer under human control? What if they bring not salvation, but another kind of doom? Kara, however, refuses to let fear cloud her judgment. She knows one thing for certain: the forgotten fleet is real, and it is coming. Whether it brings hope or destruction, humanity must be ready. As the alien armada tightens its grip on Earth, Kara's findings ignite a fragile spark of hope. The forgotten fleet is no longer a myth. It is a tangible force, racing through the stars toward a home it left behind long ago. But as Kara stares at the data, a chilling question lingers. What will they find when they arrive, and will Earth still be standing to greet them? The answers lie in the stars, and time is running out. As the signal from the forgotten fleet echoes through the void, it does not go unnoticed. The Krylos, the relentless alien invaders who have brought Earth to its knees, intercept the transmission. For them, the message is not just a mystery, it is a threat. The Krylos, a species driven by conquest and fear of any power that might rival their own, recognize the significance of the fleet's return. To them, it is not a beacon of hope but a harbinger of their potential downfall, and so they act swiftly, with brutal precision. The Krylos armada shifts its focus, abandoning their systematic destruction of Earth's surface to concentrate on a single, devastating objective: obliterating humanity's last line of defense, the orbital command stations. These stations, already battered and barely functional, are the only barrier between the Krylos and total planetary domination. If they fall, Earth will be defenseless, and the Forgotten Fleet will arrive too late. Admiral Terk, the grizzled commander of Earth's remaining forces, watches the enemy's movements with grim determination. He knows what is at stake. Standing on the bridge of the flagship Resolute, he addresses his officers, his voice steady but heavy with the weight of their dire situation. The Krylos fear the fleet, he says, his eyes scanning the tactical displays. They know it could turn the tide, that's why they're coming for us now. They want to crush us before the Forgotten Fleet can reach Earth. The room falls silent as Terk's words sink in. The Admiral, a veteran of countless battles, knows this is their darkest hour. Yet in his voice there is no despair, only resolve. We cannot let them win, he continues, his tone hardening. Our orders are clear, we hold the line. We hold until they come, no matter the cost. Across the orbital defenses, the order spreads like wildfire. Pilots scramble to their fighters, engineers work frantically to repair damaged systems, and soldiers brace themselves for the onslaught. The Krylos' attack is swift and merciless, their ships descending like a storm of fire and steel. Explosions light up the void as Earth's defenders fight with everything they have, knowing that every second they hold the line brings the Forgotten Fleet closer to home. But the Krylos are relentless, their weapons tear through shields and hulls, their numbers overwhelming. Earth's forces are outmatched, outgunned, and running out of time. Yet amidst the chaos, a single truth binds them together. They must hold for Earth, for humanity, for the hope that the Forgotten Fleet will arrive in time to turn the tide. As the battle rages, Admiral Terk stands firm, his gaze fixed on the stars. Somewhere out there, the Forgotten Fleet is racing toward them, and until it arrives, he and his people will stand their ground, no matter the cost. The Krylos may have the advantage, but they have underestimated humanity's will to survive, and that, Terk knows, is a mistake they will regret. But even as the Admiral steels himself for the fight ahead, a chilling thought lingers. Will the Forgotten Fleet arrive in time? Or will Earth's last defenders fall before salvation can reach them? The answer lies in the stars, and the clock is ticking. As the battle for Earth's survival rages on, Lieutenant Kara Voss finds herself in a race against time of a different kind. While the orbital defenses hold against the Krylos' onslaught, Kara retreats to the dimly lit communications hub aboard the Resolute. Her fingers fly across the console, sifting through the fragmented data streams of the Forgotten Fleet's signal. The transmission is ancient, its encryption layers crumbling under the weight of centuries, but Kara is determined. She knows the answers lie within. With a final keystroke, the system unlocks, and the logs of the Forgotten Fleet spill across the screen. The words are faded, the audio crackling with static, but the message is clear. The fleet, once humanity's pride, was not lost to the void by accident. Their mission was deliberate, their orders absolute, to venture to the farthest reaches of the galaxy, to explore the unknown and chart the uncharted. But there was one condition: they were never to return. Kara's breath catches as she reads the final entry, a personal log from the fleet's commander, Captain Elias Kane. His voice, though distorted by time, carries a weight of determination and sorrow. "We knew the risks when we left Earth," Kane says, his tone steady but laced with regret. "Our mission was to push the boundaries of human exploration, to go where no one had gone before, but the cost was leaving everything behind. Our families, our homes, our world. We were told it was for the greater good, that our sacrifice would secure humanity's future. But I made a promise to my crew and to myself. No matter how far we traveled, no matter how long it took, we would find a way home." The log ends abruptly, the transmission cutting off as if severed mid-sentence. Kara leans back, her mind racing. The forgotten fleet was never meant to return, yet here they were, racing toward Earth with a determination that defied their original orders. What had changed? What had they found out there, in the darkness beyond the stars, that had driven them to break their oath and turn back? Kara's discovery sends a ripple of hope through the Resolute. The forgotten fleet was not just a relic of the past. It was a symbol of humanity's unyielding spirit, a testament to the promise that even in the face of impossible odds, there is always a way home. But as Kara stares at the flickering screen, a new question gnaws at her. What had Captain Kane and his crew endured to keep that promise? And what would their return mean for Earth, now teetering on the brink of annihilation? The answers, like the fleet itself, remain shrouded in mystery. But one thing is certain: the forgotten fleet's journey is far from over, and their arrival could change everything. As Kara prepares to relay her findings to Admiral Terk, she can't help but wonder, will the fleet's return be the salvation Earth so desperately needs, or will it bring with it a new wave of challenges, born from the secrets of the galaxy's edge? With the Krylos closing in and time running out, Kara knows one thing for certain: the forgotten fleet story is not just a tale of the past, it is the key to humanity's future. And as the battle rages on, that future hangs in the balance. As the battle intensifies, a chilling development sends shockwaves through Earth's command centers. The Krylos, sensing their window of opportunity closing, unveil their ultimate weapon, a colossal device capable of annihilating entire planets. Its activation is swift, its purpose unmistakable. The weapon begins charging, its ominous hum reverberating across the battlefield, a grim countdown to Earth's destruction. In the war room, panic sets in. Earth's leaders, faced with the unimaginable, begin to debate the unthinkable. Surrender. Voices rise in desperation, arguing that capitulation might spare what little remains of humanity. But amidst the chaos, Lieutenant Kara Voss steps forward, her voice cutting through the noise with unwavering resolve. "The fleet is our only hope," she declares, her words sharp and urgent. "If we surrender now, we lose everything. We must buy them time, no matter the cost." Kara's conviction sparks a flicker of defiance in the room. She knows the forgotten fleet is close, their arrival imminent. But time is the one resource they lack. With the Krylos weapon charging, every second counts. Turning to Admiral Terk, Kara outlines a daring plan, a covert mission to infiltrate the Krylos' command ship and sabotage the weapon from within. It's a gamble, a suicide mission by any measure, but it's the only chance they have. The room falls silent as Kara lays out the details. The mission would require a small, elite team to breach the Krylos' defenses, navigate their way to the weapon's core, and disable it before it reaches full power. The risks are astronomical, the odds nearly insurmountable. Yet, as Kara speaks, her determination becomes infectious. One by one, the leaders nod in agreement, their fear giving way to a fragile hope. As the plan is set into motion, Kara assembles her team, each member handpicked for their skills and courage. They know the stakes, and they know the likelihood of survival is slim. But they also know what's at stake: not just Earth, but the very future of humanity. With the Krylos' weapon looming over them, Kara and her team prepare to embark on what may be their final mission. The clock is ticking, the weapon's hum growing louder with each passing moment. As Kara steps into the shuttle, her mind races with the weight of what lies ahead. The forgotten fleet is coming, but will they arrive in time? And even if they do, will Earth still be here to greet them? These questions hang in the air as the shuttle launches, carrying Kara and her team into the heart of the storm. The mission is a desperate gamble, a last-ditch effort to turn the tide, But as Kara looks out at the stars, she feels a strange sense of calm. The forgotten fleet is out there, racing toward Earth with the same determination that drives her now. And in that moment, she knows one thing for certain: no matter the odds, humanity will fight to the very end. The battle for Earth's survival has entered its most critical phase, and the fate of the planet rests in the hands of a few brave souls willing to risk everything for a chance at victory. As the shuttle streaks through the void, the tension aboard is palpable. Kara and her team brace themselves for the impossible, infiltrating the heart of the Krylos command ship. The alien vessel looms ahead, a monstrous silhouette against the stars, its defenses bristling with energy. The team knows the odds are against them, but they also know this is their only chance to stop the planet-killer weapon. With a deep breath, Kara gives the signal, and the shuttle begins its silent approach, slipping through the Krylos' outer defenses like a shadow in the night. Once inside, the team moves with precision, their training and determination guiding them through the labyrinthine corridors of the alien ship. Every step is fraught with danger, every corner a potential ambush. But as they delve deeper, they begin to uncover something unexpected: fragments of intercepted communications, whispers among the Krylos' crew. The aliens speak of the forgotten fleet not with disdain, but with fear. They call it the harbinger of annihilation, a force so formidable that even the Krylos, with all their might, dread its arrival. Kara's heart races as she pieces together the implications. The forgotten fleet isn't just a legend, it's a threat so potent that it has shaken the confidence of their enemies. But before she can relay this discovery, disaster strikes. A security system they hadn't anticipated triggers, flooding the corridor with alarms and sealing off their escape route. In the chaos, the team is separated, and Kara finds herself alone, cut off from her comrades and stranded deep within the enemy's stronghold. The situation is dire. With no way to communicate with her team and the Krylos closing in, Kara must rely on her wits and resourcefulness to survive. She knows the mission is far from over, the weapon must still be disabled, and the forgotten fleet is counting on her to buy them time. But as she crouches in the shadows, evading patrols and searching for a way forward, one thought burns in her mind: the Krylos fear the fleet, and that fear could be the key to humanity's survival. As the minutes tick by, Kara's resolve hardens. She may be stranded, but she is far from defeated. The mission has taken a devastating turn, but the stakes remain the same. Earth's fate hangs in the balance, and Kara will stop at nothing to ensure the forgotten fleet arrives in time. The battle is far from over, and in the heart of the enemy's command ship, one woman's courage could change the course of history. As the Krylos tighten their grip on Earth, a sudden ripple tears through the fabric of space. From the depths of the void, a colossal wormhole erupts, its swirling maw spitting out the battered but unbroken forms of the forgotten fleet. Their hulls are scarred, their armor scorched, but their presence is undeniable, a beacon of hope against the darkness. The fleet's arrival is nothing short of miraculous, a moment that freezes time for every soul watching from Earth's surface. And then, a voice cuts through the silence. Captain Elias Kane's holographic image flickers to life, projected across every screen, every communication device on the planet. His words are calm but resolute, carrying the weight of centuries. "We have returned to fulfill our oath," he declares, his gaze steady, his tone unwavering. "Stand firm, the fight for Earth is not over." The message reverberates across the globe, igniting a spark of defiance in the hearts of humanity. For the first time in weeks, there is a glimmer of hope. The forgotten fleet, long thought lost to the annals of history, has come back not as a relic of the past, but as a force of the present. Their ships, though weathered, are bristling with advanced weaponry and technology far beyond anything Earth has ever seen. As the fleet takes its position, forming a defensive line between Earth and the Krylos armada, the aliens hesitate. Their earlier confidence wavers, their ships slowing as if unsure how to proceed. The harbinger of annihilation, as they called it, is no longer a distant threat. It is here, and it is ready to fight. On the ground, Kara watches the holographic message from her hiding place aboard the Krylos command ship. Her heart swells with a mix of relief and determination. The fleet has arrived, just as she hoped, but the battle is far from won. The Krylos may fear the forgotten fleet, but they are not yet defeated. As the fleet's engines hum to life, preparing for the inevitable clash, one thing becomes clear: this is not just a battle for survival, it is a battle for the soul of humanity. The forgotten fleet has returned, and with them, the promise of a future worth fighting for. The stage is set, the players are in place, and the final act of this cosmic drama is about to begin. As the tension in the void reaches its peak, the forgotten fleet surges forward, their engines roaring with a ferocity that echoes across the stars. The Eternal Dawn, Captain Kane's flagship, takes the lead, its sleek, battle-worn frame cutting through the darkness like a blade. Its weapons systems, ancient yet impossibly advanced, light up the void with bursts of energy, each strike precise and devastating. The Krylos, caught off guard by the fleet's sudden aggression, scramble to regroup, but the Eternal Dawn is relentless. Kane's voice crackles over the fleet's comms, steady and commanding. Focus fire on their command ships, break their chain of command, and we break their will to fight. The fleet responds in unison, their ships moving with a synchronicity that speaks of centuries of discipline and training. The Krylos, for all their technological might, are unprepared for the sheer ferocity of the forgotten fleet's assault. The battle is a chaotic symphony of light and sound, a dance of destruction played out across the stars. The Eternal Dawn weaves through the enemy formation, its weapons tearing through Krylos' hulls with terrifying efficiency. Each explosion sends shockwaves rippling through the void, a testament to the fleet's overwhelming firepower, but the Krylos are not without their own tricks. Their ships, though outmatched, fight with a desperate intensity, their weapons carving glowing scars into the fleet's armor. One of the forgotten fleet's cruisers, the stalwart Horizon, takes a direct hit to its engines, its systems failing as it drifts helplessly toward the battlefield's edge. Yet even in the face of such losses, the fleet presses on, their resolve unshaken. Kane's voice rings out again, this time with a note of urgency. Hold the line. We cannot let them break through. Earth is counting on us. The Eternal Dawn pivots, its weapons locking onto a massive Krylos dreadnought. With a single, blinding volley, the dreadnought is reduced to a cloud of debris, its destruction sending a ripple of panic through the enemy ranks. The tide of the battle begins to turn. The Krylos, once so confident in their superiority, now falter under the relentless assault. Their ships, once a unified force, now scatter in disarray, their formations crumbling under the weight of the forgotten fleet's onslaught. As the Eternal Dawn continues its relentless advance, Kane's holographic image appears once more, this time addressing the entire fleet. "This is what we were made for," he says, his voice filled with quiet determination. "This is our moment. For Earth, for humanity, we fight to the last." The fleet responds with a renewed vigor, their ships surging forward with a unity that leaves the Krylos reeling. The Eternal Dawn leads the charge, its weapons blazing, its crew unwavering. The battle is far from over, but one thing is clear: the forgotten fleet has returned, and they are here to win. As the clash rages on, the Krylos begin to realize the truth. They are not facing a relic of the past. They are facing the future of humanity, a force forged in the fires of sacrifice and tempered by the promise of hope. And in that realization, their confidence shatters, leaving only the cold, unyielding truth. The harbinger of annihilation has come, and it will not be denied. As the battle rages on, the focus shifts to Lieutenant Kara Voss, still trapped aboard the Krylos command ship. Surrounded by the hum of alien technology and the distant echoes of the battle outside, Kara works with a quiet intensity, her fingers flying across the console she's managed to access. The Krylos systems are unlike anything she's encountered before, their design alien and labyrinthine, but Kara's determination is unshakable. She knows the fate of Earth, and the fleet rests on her ability to uncover their secrets. With a final keystroke, Kara breaches the Krylos communications network. Data floods the screen, revealing the enemy's battle plans, fleet movements, and the location of their most vulnerable systems. Her heart races as she realizes the magnitude of what she's found. This isn't just intel, it's a lifeline. Without hesitation, she begins transmitting the information to the forgotten fleet, her signal cutting through the chaos of the battlefield. On the bridge of the Eternal Dawn, Captain Kane receives the transmission. His eyes narrow as he processes the data, a flicker of hope breaking through the grim determination etched on his face. "Lieutenant Voss," he says, his voice steady but urgent. "Hold on, we're coming for you." The Eternal Dawn pivots sharply, its engines roaring as it breaks through the Krylos lines. The ship's weapons blaze, carving a path through the enemy formation with brutal precision. Around it, the rest of the fleet follows suit, their movements guided by the intel Kara has provided. The Krylos, caught off guard by the sudden shift in tactics, struggle to regroup, their once impenetrable defenses now crumbling under the fleet's relentless assault. Back aboard the Krylos ship, Kara hears the distant rumble of explosions as the Eternal Dawn draws closer. She knows she's running out of time. The Krylos are already aware of her presence, their alarms blaring as they scramble to locate her. She ducks into a shadowed alcove, her mind racing as she plots her next move. The ship's corridors are a maze, and every second brings her closer to capture, or worse. But Kara isn't alone. Through the chaos, she hears Kane's voice again, this time over the Krylos comm system. "We're almost there, Lieutenant. Just hold on a little longer." The words are a lifeline, a reminder that she's not just fighting for herself, she's fighting for Earth, for the fleet, for the future of humanity. With renewed determination, Kara pushes forward, her every step bringing her closer to escape. The Eternal Dawn is closing in, its weapons lighting up the void as it clears a path to her location. The Krylos, desperate to stop her, throw everything they have at the fleet, but it's too late. The Forgotten Fleet has the upper hand, and Kara's intel has turned the tide of the battle. As the Eternal Dawn breaches the Krylos' defenses, Kara knows her time is running out. She can hear the enemy closing in, their footsteps echoing through the corridors, but she also hears the distant roar of the fleet's engines, a sound that fills her with hope. The Forgotten Fleet is coming, and with them, the promise of victory. Kara takes a deep breath, her hand hovering over the console, as she prepares to send one final transmission. "I'm ready," she whispers, her voice steady despite the chaos around her. "Just get me out of here." The Eternal Dawn responds with a burst of firepower, its weapons tearing through the Krylos ship's hull. The battle is far from over, but one thing is clear. Kara's courage has given the fleet the edge they need, and as the Eternal Dawn closes in, its crew ready to extract her, the Krylos realize they've underestimated humanity once again. The harbinger of annihilation is here, and it will not be denied. As the battle reaches its climax, a chilling development unfolds. The Krylos, desperate and cornered, activate their ultimate weapon, a planet killer designed to obliterate Earth in a single, devastating strike. The massive weapon powers up, its ominous glow visible even from the Eternal Dawn's bridge. Captain Kane watches in horror as the targeting systems lock onto Earth, the blue-green orb of humanity's home now in the crosshairs of annihilation. Kane's mind races. The fleet is stretched thin, their resources depleted from the relentless fighting. There's no time to mount a conventional attack, no way to disable the weapon before it fires. His jaw tightens as he realizes what must be done. Turning to his crew, his voice is calm but resolute. Prepare the ship for a collision course. We're taking that weapon down, no matter the cost. The crew exchanges grim glances, but no one hesitates. They know what's at stake. The Eternal Dawn pivots sharply, its engines roaring as it accelerates toward the planet killer. Around them, the Krylos scramble to intercept, their ships converging in a desperate attempt to protect their ultimate weapon. But the Eternal Dawn is relentless, its shields absorbing the barrage of enemy fire as it hurtles forward. Kane grips the edge of his console, his eyes fixed on the weapon's core. He knows this is a one-way trip, but there's no hesitation in his voice as he issues his final orders. All hands, brace for impact. It's been an honor serving with you. The Eternal Dawn slams into the weapon's core with a deafening explosion, the shockwave rippling through the battlefield. For a moment, the void is illuminated by a blinding flash of light, the sheer force of the collision tearing through the Krylos formation. When the light fades, the planet killer is gone, reduced to debris scattered across the stars. On Earth, the skies darken as the weapon's targeting systems fail, its destructive energy dissipating harmlessly into the void. The people below, unaware of the sacrifice that has just saved them, look up in awe as the threat vanishes. Back in the fleet, the silence is heavy. The Eternal Dawn is gone, its crew lost but their legacy eternal. Captain Kane's final words echo in the minds of every soldier, every officer, every human who fought in this battle. Earth is worth every sacrifice. The Krylos, their ultimate weapon destroyed and their forces in disarray, begin to retreat. The forgotten fleet, battered but unbroken, stands victorious. Yet the cost of their victory weighs heavily. As the fleet regroups, the realization sets in, this was not just a battle won, but a reminder of the price humanity must pay to survive. And as the stars burn bright above, the fleet prepares for what comes next. The war is far from over, but one thing is certain, the forgotten fleet will not falter. They will fight, they will endure, and they will protect Earth no matter the cost. As the dust settles and the echoes of battle fade, a somber silence descends over the forgotten fleet. The Krylos, their forces shattered and their planet killer destroyed, begin a chaotic retreat, their ships scattering into the void like leaves in a storm. The immediate threat is over, but the cost of victory is etched into the hearts of every survivor. Amid the wreckage, a small shuttle emerges, carrying Lieutenant Kara Voss back to the fleet. Her mission aboard the Krylos command ship had been a desperate gamble, but her actions provided the critical intel that turned the tide. As she steps onto the deck of the rescue vessel, her face is pale, her body trembling with exhaustion. Yet her eyes burn with determination. She knows the fight is far from over. The fleet gathers to honor their fallen. Captain Elias Kane's sacrifice is not just a moment of heroism, it is a symbol of the fleet's unyielding resolve. His final words, "Earth is worth every sacrifice," resonate through every ship, every crew member, every soul who fought in this battle. The Eternal Dawn may be gone, but its legacy lives on, a beacon of hope and defiance in the face of overwhelming odds. Kara stands among the mourners, her fists clenched at her sides. She had barely known Kane, but his courage has left an indelible mark on her. As she gazes at the stars, she whispers a silent vow, "We will not let your sacrifice be in vain." the fleet begins the arduous task of regrouping. Ships damaged in the battle are repaired, supplies are redistributed, and the wounded are tended to. Yet amidst the chaos, a new resolve takes hold. The forgotten fleet is no longer just a relic of the past. It is a symbol of humanity's resilience, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, hope can prevail. As the fleet prepares for the challenges ahead, Kara is summoned to a meeting with the remaining commanders. The war is far from over, and the Krylos are not the only threat lurking in the shadows. But for now, there is a moment of quiet, a chance to reflect on what has been lost and what must still be fought for. The stars above burn brightly, a silent witness to the sacrifices made and the battles yet to come. The forgotten fleet stands ready, united in purpose and driven by the memory of those who gave everything to protect Earth. And as they look to the future, one truth remains clear: no matter the cost, they will stand firm. Earth is worth every sacrifice. As the forgotten fleet descends through Earth's atmosphere, the sight of their battered but triumphant ships ignites a wave of celebration across the planet. Crowds gather in every city, their cheers echoing through the streets as the fleet touches down. For the first time in decades, hope feels tangible, a living, breathing force. The crew, once forgotten, are now hailed as heroes saviors who returned from the void to defend their home. Among the throngs of grateful citizens, Lieutenant Kara Voss steps onto Earth's soil for the first time since the war began. The weight of the battle still lingers in her bones, but the warmth of the sun and the sound of applause remind her why they fought so hard. She scans the crowd, her eyes searching for familiar faces, but it's a stranger who approaches her. Commander Solis, second in command of the Forgotten Fleet and Kane's most trusted ally. Ree's presence is commanding, her sharp gaze betraying a mind that has seen far more than most. She extends a hand to Kara, her voice steady but laced with urgency. "Lieutenant Voss," she begins, "your actions aboard the Krylos ship were instrumental in our victory, but the fight isn't over. There's something you need to know." Kara's brow furrows as Ree leads her away from the crowd toward a secluded command center. Inside, holographic displays flicker to life, revealing star maps and encrypted transmissions. Ree's tone grows somber as she speaks. The Krylos were never the real threat. They were just scouts' advance forces for a far greater enemy, the Dominion. The word hangs in the air, heavy with implication. Kara's mind races as Ree continues. The Forgotten Fleet wasn't just lost in the first expansion. We were sent to prepare for this, to build alliances, gather intelligence, and develop the technology needed to stand against the Dominion. But Earth's leaders buried our mission, fearing the truth would cause panic. Kara's fists clench at her sides, a mix of anger and resolve surging through her. "So all this time, we've been fighting blind?" she asks, her voice tight with frustration. Ree nods, her expression grim. "Yes, but now with the Krylos defeated, the Dominion will come in force. They've been watching, waiting for the right moment to strike. And when they do, they won't stop until humanity is enslaved or erased." The weight of Ree's words settles over Kara like a storm cloud. She thinks of Kane's sacrifice, of the countless lives lost in the battle against the Krylos. This was never just about survival, it was about preparing for a war far greater than anyone had imagined. As the holograms flicker and fade, Ree places a hand on Kara's shoulder. "We need you, Lieutenant. The fleet needs leaders who understand what's at stake. The Dominion is coming, and we must be ready." Kara meets Ree's gaze, her resolve hardening. "Then we'll make sure they regret ever setting their sights on Earth," she says, her voice steady. Outside, the celebrations continue, blissfully unaware of the storm gathering on the horizon. But for Kara and the Forgotten Fleet, the battle has only just begun. The Dominion may be a threat unlike any humanity has faced, but they are not invincible. And with the fleet's true mission finally revealed, the fight for Earth's survival enters a new, more dangerous phase. As the sun sets, casting long shadows over the landing site, Kara looks to the stars once more. The forgotten fleet may have returned to save Earth, but their greatest challenge still lies ahead, and this time they will not be forgotten. As the holographic displays flicker with the ominous data of the Dominion's movements, Ree's voice cuts through the tension like a blade. The Krylos were never the true enemy, she begins, her tone measured but urgent. They were scouts, nothing more than the vanguard of a far greater force. The Dominion, Kara's breath catches at the name, her mind racing to piece together the implications. Ree steps closer to the hologram, her finger tracing the outline of a massive Dominion warship, its design unlike anything humanity has ever encountered. This empire spans galaxies, she continues. They don't conquer worlds, they consume them. Entire civilizations stripped of their resources, their people enslaved or exterminated. And now they've set their sights on Earth. The weight of Ree's words presses down on Kara, but the commander isn't finished. The forgotten fleet wasn't just lost during the first expansion. She explains, her voice steady despite the gravity of her revelation. We were sent out with a purpose to prepare for this, to gather allies, develop technology, and build the strength needed to stand against the Dominion. But Earth's leaders, they buried our mission. They thought the truth would cause panic, that humanity wasn't ready to face what was coming. Kara's fists tighten at her sides, a surge of anger rising within her. So all this time, she says, her voice sharp with frustration, we've been fighting blind, dying for a war we didn't even know was coming. Ree's gaze softens, but her resolve remains unshaken. Yes, she admits, but now with the Krylos defeated, the Dominion will come in force. They've been watching us, testing our defenses, and when they strike, it won't be a battle, it will be an extermination. The room falls silent, the hum of the holograms the only sound. Kara's mind races, replaying every moment of the war against the Krylos, every life lost, every sacrifice made. It was never just about survival. It was about preparing for a fight far greater than anyone had imagined. Ree steps closer, her voice dropping to a near whisper. The fleet was built for this, Kara. We have the technology, the knowledge, and the will to stand against them. But we need leaders like you, people who understand what's at stake. The Dominion is coming, and we must be ready. Kara meets Ree's gaze, her resolve hardening like steel. Then we'll make sure they regret ever setting their sights on Earth, she says, her voice steady and unwavering. Outside, the celebrations continue, the cheers of the crowd a stark contrast to the storm brewing within the command center. The forgotten fleet may have returned to save Earth, but their true mission is only beginning. The Dominion looms on the horizon, a threat unlike any humanity has ever faced. And as Kara looks to the stars, she knows one thing for certain: this time they will not be forgotten. As the truth about the Dominion begins to spread, whispers of fear ripple through Earth's corridors of power. The government, desperate to maintain control, moves swiftly to suppress the revelation. High-ranking officials convene in secret, their voices low and urgent as they debate how to handle the situation. The people can't handle this, one council member insists, his tone edged with panic. If they learn the Dominion is coming, it will be chaos. We must silence Ree and the fleet before their message spreads further. But Kara, now a symbol of defiance, refuses to let the truth be buried. She storms into the council chamber, her presence commanding the room. The air grows tense as she locks eyes with the assembled leaders, her voice cutting through their silence like a blade. "We can't hide from the truth," she declares, her words ringing with conviction. "The Dominion is coming, and they won't stop until Earth is nothing but ash. If we silence the fleet now, we're signing our own death warrant." The council members shift uncomfortably, their faces a mix of fear and defiance. One of them, a stern woman with sharp features, leans forward. "You speak of war, Lieutenant Voss," she says, her voice cold. "But what if the truth destroys us before the Dominion even arrives? What if the people lose hope?" Kara steps closer, her gaze unwavering. "Hope isn't something you can control," she replies. "It's something you earn. The forgotten fleet didn't return to cower in the shadows, they came to fight. And if we stand with them, if we arm ourselves with the truth, we might just have a chance. But if we hide, if we let fear dictate our actions, then we've already lost." The room falls silent, the weight of her words hanging heavy in the air. For a moment, it seems as though the council might relent, but then the stern woman speaks again, her voice firm. "Your passion is admirable, Lieutenant, but the decision has been made. The fleet will be silenced, and the truth will remain buried, for the good of humanity." Kara's jaw tightens, her fists clenching at her sides. "For the good of humanity," she echoes, her voice rising. "Or for the good of your power, you're so afraid of losing control that you're willing to sacrifice everything. But I won't let you. The fleet is our only hope, and I'll make sure the people know it with or without your permission." With that, she turns on her heel and strides from the chamber, her resolve unshaken. The council watches her go, their faces a mix of anger and unease. Outside, the city bustles with life, oblivious to the storm brewing within its walls. Kara knows the road ahead will be fraught with danger, but she also knows this: the truth is a weapon, and she will wield it to save Earth, no matter the cost. As the tension on Earth reaches its peak, the skies above darken with the arrival of the Dominion's vanguard. Their ships, colossal and menacing, eclipse even the Krylos fleet, casting long shadows over the planet below. The sheer scale of their armada sends a ripple of dread through humanity's defenses. These are not mere scouts or invaders, they are the harbingers of annihilation, a force unlike anything Earth has ever faced. Solis, now commanding the Forgotten Fleet, stands on the bridge of the eternal dawn, her eyes fixed on the approaching threat. The weight of the moment presses down on her, but her voice remains steady, a beacon of resolve for her crew. "This is what we were made for," she declares, her words carrying the strength of centuries. "Today, we fight not just for Earth, but for the survival of everything we hold dear. The Dominion believes we are weak, that we will crumble before their might, but they are wrong. We are the Forgotten Fleet, and we will remind them why they feared us." Her words ignite a fire in the hearts of her crew, their resolve hardening as they prepare for the battle ahead. Across the fleet, ships power up their weapons, their hulls gleaming with the advanced technology that has kept them alive through centuries of isolation. The Eternal Dawn takes its place at the forefront, its engines humming with purpose as it leads the charge. The Dominion's vanguard closes in, their ships bristling with weapons that could obliterate entire cities in an instant. But Ree's fleet does not falter. They move with precision, their formations tight and their strategies honed by years of preparation. "Hold the line," Ree commands, her voice cutting through the chaos. "We are the shield that stands between Earth and destruction. Today, we show the Dominion what it means to face humanity united." The first volley of fire erupts, lighting up the void of space with bursts of energy and flame. The Forgotten Fleet's advanced technology proves its worth, their shields absorbing the brunt of the Dominion's assault, while their weapons strike back with devastating accuracy. The battle is fierce, the stakes unimaginably high, but Ree's leadership keeps the fleet focused and determined. As the fight rages on, Ree's voice echoes across the comms, a rallying cry for every soldier, pilot, and engineer in the fleet. "Remember why we fight," she says, her tone unwavering. "For every life on Earth, for every dream yet to be realized, for the future we refuse to let them take. This is our moment, this is our fight, and we will not fall." The Dominion's ships begin to falter under the relentless assault, their once imposing fleet now struggling to hold its ground. But the battle is far from over, and the cost of victory will be steep. As the Eternal Dawn surges forward, leading the charge into the heart of the enemy's formation, Ree knows one thing for certain: this is only the beginning. The Dominion may have underestimated humanity, but they will soon learn the price of their arrogance. The Forgotten Fleet is here, and they will fight to the last breath to protect their home. As the battle intensifies, the Forgotten Fleet's unity and advanced tactics begin to turn the tide. Kara Voss, now stationed on the bridge of the Eternal Dawn, studies the Dominion's movements with a sharp eye. Her mind races, piecing together patterns in the chaos. Their formation is too rigid, she mutters, her voice cutting through the tension. "If we can disrupt their command chain, we can break their momentum." Ree turns to her, a flicker of hope in her eyes. "What do you propose, Lieutenant?" Kara steps forward, her confidence growing as she outlines her plan. The Dominion's ships rely on a centralized command structure. If we can isolate their flagship, the rest of their fleet will falter, but we need to draw them into a trap somewhere they can't maneuver easily. Ree nods, her expression hardening with resolve. The asteroid field near Earth's orbit, their size will work against them there, but it's a risky move. If we miscalculate, we'll be cornered. Kara meets her gaze, unwavering. "It's our best shot, we've got to take it." With Ree's approval, the fleet shifts its strategy. The Eternal Dawn leads the charge, luring the Dominion's flagship into the dense asteroid field. The enemy, confident in their superior firepower, follows without hesitation. But as they enter the treacherous terrain, their massive ships struggle to navigate the tight spaces, their movements slowed and their formations disrupted. Kara's plan begins to unfold. Now, she commands, her voice steady, "Target their engines, cripple their mobility." The Forgotten Fleet's ships strike with precision, their weapons tearing through the Dominion's defenses. Explosions ripple across the enemy's hulls as their engines fail, leaving them stranded amidst the asteroids. The once imposing flagship now drifts helplessly, its command systems in disarray. Ree's voice rings out across the comms, rallying her fleet. "Press the advantage, don't let them regroup." The Forgotten Fleet surges forward, their unity and determination driving them to exploit every weakness. Kara watches from the bridge, her heart pounding as the tide of battle shifts in their favor. But even as victory seems within reach, she knows the Dominion won't retreat without a fight. The cost of this triumph will be high, but for Earth's survival, it's a price they must pay. As the Eternal Dawn closes in on the crippled flagship, Kara's mind races with the next steps. The Dominion may be faltering, but the war is far from over, and in the chaos of battle, one truth remains clear: the Forgotten Fleet will stop at nothing to protect their home. As the battle rages on, the Forgotten Fleet's strategy takes a daring turn. Ree, now commanding the Eternal Dawn, seizes the opportunity to exploit the Dominion's overconfidence. "They're too focused on crushing us," she observes, her voice cutting through the chaos. "But that's their weakness. We'll use their arrogance against them." Kara, standing at her side, nods in agreement. The black hole near the asteroid field, its gravity well could trap their flagship, but getting them there won't be easy. Ree's eyes narrow as she considers the plan. "We'll need to make it look like we're retreating, draw them in, make them think they've won, then, when they're close enough, we strike." The fleet begins to pull back, their movements calculated to appear desperate. The Dominion, sensing victory, pushes forward, their flagship leading the charge. But as they close in, the Eternal Dawn suddenly veers toward the black hole's edge, its engines straining against the immense gravitational pull. Kara's voice is tense as she monitors the enemy's approach. They're following us straight into the trap, but we're cutting it close, too close. Ree grips the command console, her focus unwavering. Hold the course. Just a little further, the Dominion's flagship, blinded by its pursuit, fails to notice the danger until it's too late. The black hole's gravity takes hold, pulling the massive ship into its inescapable grasp. Panic erupts on the enemy bridge as their systems overload, their engines unable to break free. Now, Ree commands. The Eternal Dawn unleashes a barrage of fire, targeting the flagship's weakened hull. Explosions ripple across the ship as it begins to collapse, its structure torn apart by the combined forces of the black hole and the fleet's relentless assault. The Dominion forces, now leaderless, falter. Their once coordinated attacks dissolve into chaos as the Forgotten Fleet presses their advantage, but the victory is bittersweet. The Eternal Dawn and its crew have paid a heavy price, their ship battered and their resources depleted. Kara looks out at the wreckage, her heart heavy. "We've won this battle," she says quietly, "but the war isn't over. The Dominion will regroup, and when they do, they'll come back stronger." Ree places a hand on her shoulder, her voice steady despite the toll of the fight. "Then we'll be ready. The Forgotten Fleet was built for this, and as long as we stand together, Earth will never fall." As the fleet regroups, the weight of their sacrifice hangs in the air. But amidst the loss, there's a glimmer of hope, a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, humanity's resilience and unity can turn the tide. The Dominion may have been dealt a blow, but the fight for Earth's survival is far from over, and the Forgotten Fleet will be there, ready to face whatever comes next. As the Dominion forces retreat, their ships vanishing into the void of space, a tense silence settles over the battlefield. The Forgotten Fleet, battered but unbroken, stands as a testament to humanity's resilience. Ree, her voice steady yet carrying the weight of what lies ahead, addresses the fleet. "This is only the beginning," she declares, her words echoing across every ship. "The Dominion will return, and when they do, they'll come with everything they have. We must prepare for the war to come." On Earth, the aftermath of the battle is felt deeply. Cities that once burned under the Krylos assault now begin to rebuild, their people united by a newfound determination. The Forgotten Fleet's victory has reignited hope, but it's a hope tempered by the knowledge that the Dominion's retreat is not an end, it's a pause. Earth's leaders, once divided by fear and secrecy, now rally together, pouring resources into fortifying the planet's defenses. Orbital platforms are repaired, new ships are constructed, and the fleet's advanced technology is integrated into Earth's arsenal. Kara, now a key figure in the rebuilding efforts, works tirelessly alongside Ree. "We can't afford to underestimate them," she says, her voice firm. "The Dominion won't make the same mistakes twice. We need to be ready for anything." Her words resonate with the crew, who have seen firsthand the cost of complacency. The fleet's veterans, hardened by years of isolation and battle, train the next generation of pilots and engineers, passing on the lessons learned from centuries of survival. Ree, standing on the bridge of the Eternal Dawn, gazes out at the stars. "We've bought ourselves time," she says, her tone reflective, "but time is only valuable if we use it wisely. Every moment we spend preparing could mean the difference between victory and annihilation." Her words serve as a rallying cry, spurring the fleet and Earth's defenders into action. The Forgotten Fleet, once a relic of humanity's past, has become the cornerstone of its future. As the days turn into weeks, the fleet's presence becomes a symbol of unity. Across Earth, stories of their return spread, inspiring a new generation to take up the fight. The Dominion's threat looms large, but so does the resolve of those who stand against it. The forgotten fleet, forged in the fires of sacrifice and survival, stands ready to face whatever comes next, and as Ree's words echo in the hearts of all who hear them, one truth becomes clear. The war for Earth's survival is far from over, but humanity will not face it alone. As the dust of battle settles and the scars of war begin to heal, a new chapter unfolds for Kara Voss. In a ceremony held aboard the Eternal Dawn, now a symbol of humanity's resilience, Kara stands before the assembled crew and Earth's leaders. Her promotion to captain is not just a recognition of her bravery, but a testament to her unwavering leadership during humanity's darkest hour. Ree, now the fleet's acting commander, places the insignia on Kara's uniform, her voice carrying the weight of the moment. "You've earned this, Kara. The fleet, Earth, and the future of humanity are in your hands." Kara's new command is a ship unlike any other, a vessel forged from the advanced technology of the Forgotten Fleet, designed to carry the legacy of those who came before. Named the Unity's Resolve, it represents not just a weapon of war, but a beacon of hope. As she steps onto the bridge for the first time, Kara feels the weight of her new responsibility. The crew, a mix of seasoned veterans and fresh recruits, looks to her with a mixture of respect and anticipation. This ship, she begins, her voice steady and resolute, is more than steel and circuits. It's a promise that we will not be forgotten again. Earth will stand united, no matter what comes our way. Her words resonate deeply, not just with her crew, but with everyone who hears them. Across Earth, the promotion is broadcast as a symbol of unity and determination. The Unity's resolve becomes a rallying point, a reminder that humanity's strength lies not just in its technology, but in its spirit. Kara's journey from a young communications officer to the captain of a flagship mirrors the journey of humanity itself, from the brink of annihilation to a renewed sense of purpose. As the Unity's resolve takes its place among the fleet, Kara reflects on the path ahead. The Dominion's threat still looms, but so does the resolve of those who stand against it. "We've faced the impossible before," she tells her crew during their first briefing, "and we'll face it again, but this time we'll face it together. Not as individuals, not as nations, but as one united Earth." Her words are met with nods and determined smiles, a silent acknowledgement of the bond that now ties them all. With the Unity's resolve leading the charge, the Forgotten Fleet begins a new era of preparation. Training exercises, tactical simulations, and technological advancements become the focus, all aimed at ensuring that humanity is ready for the Dominion's inevitable return. Kara's leadership inspires not just her crew, but the entire fleet, proving that even in the face of overwhelming odds, unity and determination can light the way forward. As the stars stretch out before her, Kara feels a sense of purpose unlike any she's known before. The Unity's resolve is more than a ship, it's a symbol of humanity's resilience, a testament to the sacrifices of those who came before, and a promise to those who will come after. And as she gazes out at the infinite expanse, Kara knows one thing for certain: the Forgotten Fleet may have returned to save Earth, but it is humanity's unity that will ensure its survival.